Next on Airwolf.
Tell me about your helicopter lesson with Aerial Co-Ordinator, David Jones.
I'm pretty sure it was my first day on the set. We were out in Desert Center. It was 115 at least. And the guys had told me before going in to shoot the sheriff's scenes, it was like a hot box. They had all of these lights in there. There was absolutely no air conditioning, no fan, no nothing. Close quarters. Any kind of sweat you see on us is sweat. That's us. We were just soaking wet. The stunt guys kept handing me cold bottles of water and just said, drink, Jeannie, drink, drink, drink. You're going to get dehydrated. So they took really good care of me on that. I was very well hydrated. But when we got done shooting for the day, I was on the clock and they wanted to get me back to base camp, which was 30 minutes away or something. And Davy Jones came up and said, Jeannie, you're going to go back in the helicopter, not the van. Usually they drove us back and forth to locations that were outside that 60-mile range. They would drive us back to the hotel or whatever in a van. So I said, oh, no. I'm fine. You can take me off the clock. I'm good. I'll go back in the van. Because I didn't want to fly in the helicopter. I was afraid. And Dawn and Ron Stein were also going in the helicopter. So I thought, I don't want to get in this helicopter and show any kind of fear. I'm supposed to be a helicopter pilot. So Davey says, no, I want you to fly back with us. So I'm pretty sure it was Santini Air. The guys were in the back. He already had Dawn and Ron in the back of the helicopter, and he put me in the front. So now I'm really, okay, here we go. This is going to be like a Ferris wheel for me because I'm not used to this. So up we go, and it's all nice and smooth, and it's Davey flying, and he's talking to me in my headset, and everything's going good, and Dawn's chatting away, and everything's fine. And Davey says, I think we're going to give you your first lesson. And I was like, what do you mean lesson? He said, I want you hands-on. So, you hold the cyclic and the collective, you got your hands on them. And he says, now don't do anything yet. Just feel what I'm doing. So we're flying along and everything's lovely. And he says, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the highway, right? So that way we won't get lost. We know exactly where we're going. And what I want you to do is, when I tell you, I'm going to take my hands off everything, and I want you to look at this little bar here, and I think it's called the horizon line, and there's actually a line with the helicopter's rotor showing what you're doing, right, whether you're tipping right or left or up or down or whatever. So he says, I want you to watch that. I want you to keep it nice and straight. Just keep it right there. So I'm sweating more than I ever did in that little hot box that was the sheriff's office, because now I've got the executive producer and the stunt coordinator and the lead pilot in my hands, so to speak. And Davey takes his hands off everything. He just puts his hands up and says, you're flying. So he told me, pull a little bit on this and don't pull back. Watch that horizon line. Keep it nice and straight. And so that's what we did for about 15 minutes along the highway. And the whole time, Dawn is talking to me saying, you're doing great, Jeannie. That's great. You're doing good. Ron's laughing and saying, oh my God, she's flying. She could kill us. All of this nonsense is going on, and I'm concentrating as hard as I can. And then Davey finally, he said, okay, we're going to make a nice kind of left turn here. We're going to bank to the left. So I am going to put my hands back on the instruments, and you just keep your hands there. You'll feel everything that I'm doing. And so he did. We banked around to the left and went over, I think, to where the hotel was or somewhere close to it. But I remember I was never so terrified in my life, and I was never so exhilarated. It was amazing. That was a lot of preparation for the character. And what I also realized later was when I was in my police helicopter, Davey did the same thing to let me know how the cyclic would be moving while the helicopter was starting up and what was going to be happening, so that I actually appeared to be flying, even when we were doing what's called poor man's process. That was also preparing me for that moment, which was going to come a day or so later. Airwolf will continue.